All right, so if you don't know how to trade, head over to Futures Trading Channel. I'll teach you how to read a plain chart with nothing knowing it. But for those that have been watching the last two videos, this is that information. Now, clearly, I told you about it when they were over here. They pushed down. There's the cyan bar I warned you about. They pulled up on it at 9:30, and then they kind of fell down, hit that zone, and came back this way. Now, I want to show you the new bar type. All right, been working on it, trying to put it together, and I finally was able to accomplish that goal. All right, so let's do this really quickly here. The bar will not close unless the requirement is met or time. There's a time element to it as well. But for the most part, bar is not going to close. All right. Now, should the opposite side kick in, the movement that was present doesn't dissipate. It just essentially is applied to the opposite side, and then the requirement is easily met in that regard. But it's important that the bar actually close. Now, here's two things that you'll want to pay attention to. These are the DTT impact bars. The bar size is important, all right? But most of the time when the bar is larger, there's always going to be some give back for the most part. If it's a sizable bar, not too extreme, because if you get the extreme bar, absolutely there's some give back. It's just how much. But if you can get a sizable bar that's not too extreme and they're consecutive bars, pretty much you should get the run. So here's your pause because there's the big bar. And of course, you can look down below. I got the 1 minute overlay inside the DTT adaptive volume bars. They're together. But there's your pause. All right. And again, the bar is not going to close, and I can't hold the video but for so long. We're already pushing a minute and some change here. I'm gonna see, can I allow this to play a little bit, and then I'm gonna compress the chart just a little bit and kind of allow you to see some of that information in the historical reference so you can see the type of bars that you're getting. And let me do this. Okay. Now, again, you see the bigger bar, I'll just say bigger bar, there's going to be some kind of give back, some kind of stall. They're not going to just keep pushing. It's not going to happen unless we can get a consecutive type effect. All right, so you just got to know that. Now I'm going to try to scroll through this just a little bit. Where's 9:30? Okay, there's 9:30. 9:30 is over here. So over here, about 9:29, 9:30, boom, there you go. And so there's your information there. Now you can pause the video and take all that in because I can't sit up here and just go through every example. I can't do that, but just try to pause the video and take some of that in. All right. So now let's see what we got. I got all this stuff running. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see all of this stuff, man. I really am. And again, the bar is not going to close until that requirement is met. And again, there is a time element too, but unless that requirement is met, I want you to kind of keep that in mind. And now when it decides to change its direction of flow, okay, we're not talking about the color of the bar, red or green, the direction of flow, that prior effort, okay, is being applied to the opposite side, okay, which makes the requirement of being fulfilled a lot easier to do, which can create an effect of it wanting to go more. All right. But as I said, if the bar is bigger, bigger, they're going to stop. They're going to pause, and that's pretty much what you're going to get with all that consolidation back and forth, wicks on top of your bar from both sides, just kind of beating you real bad. This is a way of seeing it. That's all. You'll be able to see it. You'll know it's coming. All right. Now notice this bar hasn't closed for as long as I've been talking to you. It has not closed. But if you look at the sub window down below, the adaptive volatility bars, they're giving you rotation. There's your trend, there's the zone, there's the target. It's giving you that information. All right. So what you would do if you wanted to, you can apply the same approach. Impact bar. I know it's going to stop. I know it's going to stall. It's going to give you a chance to participate. That's all. Give you a chance to participate. And hopefully you've gotten consecutive bars. And then that way you can know that, hey, there's a good chance we're going to keep going. It's a good chance. It's not a guarantee, but it's a very good chance. I can't give you a lot of examples. The video can't be but for so long. And so we're pushing up on 4.5 minutes here. All right. I was hoping that this bar would close, and so you could see what would be the next response. All right. Let's see. And when I say there's a time element, there's a decay to it as well. Essentially, is what I'm speaking of. So even though this bar hasn't closed yet, it's still time involved. All right, just want to say that to you. All right, there's the closure. I'm gonna let this play just for a moment because I'm pulling up on 5 minutes and I cannot hold this video. It's 1212. All right, 1212. You can see it down here in the bottom. Go back and check your charts. I encourage you to do so. I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.